Hello, welcome back to Budget Bangers. I've done it again. I've made a poor financial decision on copart and bought another unrecorded car. This 2010 Suzuki Alto with 59,000 miles on it. Now on the face of it, it looks like a nice car. It is a nice car apart from it's filthy. Bodywork wise, down this side, we're all good. It's nice, clean. No major damage. You got the odd little marks on the corners here and there. Very wiper arms missing. I've had a bit of a repair in this corner in the past, which looks like it's faded a little bit, so it might need a bit of polishing up that. Or I might try and just spray a bit of lacquer over it so it keeps its shine. A little bit of a crack in the bumper here as well, which is a shame. But down this side, the story starts changing a little bit. We're all right door wise. Got the odd little marks here and there. We've got a little bit of damage on this wing, and the bumper's not very secure, which I think is going to want to clip behind the bumper. We've got a bit of a dent here, and it's folded in a little bit there. Now, if I'm clever enough, I might be able to save that without painting it. A lot of the marks that are on it will just polish out. So, hopefully I can save it. I'm not going to be able to save this. It needs a new wing mirror, which is pretty straightforward. Headlights need a bit of a clean up, but that's, again, just regular stuff that you pretty much do on every car. But other than that, bodywork wise, it's spot on. It just wants the usual TLC. Really wants a good wash. Inside is absolutely black rotten. We'll take that out so like beeping doesn't do our reds in. But inside is black rotten. How on earth somebody keeps their cars like this is beyond me. It is absolutely rotten. And it's not even just general mess, it is just filth. It is dirt, backy, fag ash, all sorts. Luckily it doesn't smell, but I think this one is going to end up wanting quite a deep clean. I think seats are going to have to come out, and it's going to want quite an extensive clean, this. Running wise, it's absolutely spot on. Yeah, it did have a fat battery when I picked it up, but I literally ran it for next to no time at all, and it come back to life and it starts up on the button. We do have a traction control light flashing away, which is the steering angle sensor, which is behind the steering wheel. It's part of the squib which holds your stalks on. Pretty straightforward job that should be. Spec wise, if I'm not mistaken, this is a SV4, something like that. We'll have a look. SZ4, sorry. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is quite up in the specs for a little Alto. Doesn't mean you get much for your money. You get a rev counter. You get air conditioning, which works, I believe. We'll just double check that. Yeah, quite convinced to say that's working. We've got CD, radio, pretty bobby basic stuff. It doesn't have Bluetooth or anything like that, but you can get stuff these days to solve that problem. Electric windows on the front. Adjustable mirrors, which is a shame, but given the fact that it wants one, I'm not going to be too bothered about because it makes it a bit cheaper. But all in all, it's okay. It's just minging, you know. Ooh, 2p. Even the 2p's giving up on life in here. But yeah, just general minging. Sand, stains in the seats. Pretty grim, to be honest with you. The boot is actually surprisingly clean compared to the rest of the car. But literally just want to hoover out. It's probably the only part of the car that I've never touched. Yeah, we'll just leave that there. But yeah, so why was this a copart? Well, yeah, so the reason this was a copart is quite a grim one. If we get down on our hands and knees here, if we have a look underneath, you will see that the axle is absolutely rotten. I normally test drive my cars before I do any work on them, but I'm not going anywhere in this. This is a bit of a death trap. We do have other bolt-on points, but given how bad the structure of that is, I have absolutely zero faith in that one bolt hole holding it in place. Yeah, it's quite bad. Worst one I've seen. I've known a few of these suffer from problems with the rotten axle. Generally, I think it's more where the shocker bolt's on, where it tends to rot. For reference, that's what it's supposed to look like. Now we do have a hole in this side, but it's nowhere near as bad. Axle wise, they're not expensive. You can get them on eBay from India for about £150 for a brand new one. But it'll take about a month to get here, which is no good to anybody. But I'm lucky in the fact that I knew where one of these back axles were, which I've gone and bought for only £100. So thank you to my previous employer Dave for that. Yeah, he bought one for a job a few years ago that never ended up turning in, so he just had it laid about, and I just bought it off him, gave him his money back. So yeah, it cost me £100, which is a cheap job to do. Generally speaking, Suzuki's, everything's cheap on Suzuki's. You know, a wing mirror, it'll be peanuts. Once a rear wiper arm, it'll be peanuts. I think the squib, that was 50 quid. I've had a little look over. I've only had a look over the front end because obviously I'm going to be quite extensive into the back end. So I'll just replace as and when I need it. Yeah, but quite basically, it's not going to want much at all. Now, purchase-wise, I bought this car. My winning bid was for £600, which plus fees was £880, which is quite a cheap car. Reason why I shop places like Copart is because a lot of the times people that use a lot of trade, like dealers, they don't like to use Copart. Just for the simple fact of the matter is that 9 times out of 10 the problem cars that come out with Copart. So it's mostly just DIY guys. Basically, if I go to a dealer auction, I can't compete because they would sell this for 3 to 3.5, whereas I'll be putting this up for £2,000. So I just can't compete. They'd pay a lot more. They'd probably pay £1,400 for this car. But yeah, so yeah, all in all with the fees, it was £880. I drove 180 mile round trip, which, believe it or not, in my truck, I topped my fuel tank up from halfway to full. It was only £40. I used just over a quarter of a tank, so we'll say 20 quid. So £900 plus £100 for the axle, it owes me £1,000. Squib, 50 quid. All the bits and pieces, I dare say, we could be looking maybe as another 50 quid. So £1,200, and then I'm going to give it a service as well, because it does have some service history, but it is missing some here and there. So yeah, nice car. Somebody else tried to be a bit naughty with it. I'm assuming they've just been driving it without an MOT. and they've kind of put a little mark on there to make it look like an 80 plate, which is a pretty daft idea, because if it was an 80 plate it'd be from 2030. So I think we're a bit behind on that. But yeah, quite interested to see how this one's going to turn out. It's going to be quite a nice car. My first Suzuki Alto as well. Normally they're a bit too upmarket for me. Normally when these get down to my sort of level, the scrap basically. But once we put the axle and things like that and tidy it up, it's going to be a really nice car. And I dare say $2,000. I might have some traders in at it for that price. But yeah, anyway, all the links for my other socials will be in the bio. If you want to keep up to date with everything that goes on, my business page is the best place for that. Please hit that thumbs up if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button. We've just hit just over 400 subscribers, so a massive thank you for that, and keep it coming. If you just keep subscribing, I'll keep making content. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.